Hello my lovelies and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So guess who's managed to find himself another toxic plant, or rather group of toxic plants. I'm going to be planting some flowers for the summer. Hopefully these flowers should be up by around June, July time. Give me some nice tall spikes, spears of flowers in both of these particular groups of flowers. So they are the delphiniums. So we've got delphiniums and we've also got larkspur. All of these seeds are a little bit old, but I think they all should be great. I've got some delphiniums from last year's autumn Malvern show, so they should be fine. So we're going to be planting them today. Again, what I'll do is I'll put them in these nice green things. They go on to my Super 7s, and then I'll pot them on, and then once I've potted them on, I'm going to take these pretty much straight down to the plot and stick them in probably one of the buildings down there on a nice shelf with plenty of light, and hopefully they should be all ready for around May time to actually go in the ground. Just hoping that I don't have any massively severe frosts. I think the severe frosts are probably okay and done. It's just the odd frost that you really don't want the seedlings to basically get attacked by, really. These germinate at around 15 degrees C, so they don't need a massive amount of heat to germinate either. So delphiniums are in the family Ranuculae. So Ranuculae is the buttercup family. And other members of that particular family are things like the winter aconite and also monkshood, which is the wolfsbane, which I grow every year. It's absolutely gorgeous. In fact, probably some of those are self-seeded down the plot at the moment. So same family as those, again with the same issues potentially you can get from the aconites. You'd expect from these as well. So always best to wear your gloves when you're handling the seeds. The most toxic parts of these plants are pretty much the entire plant, really, when it's really, really young. So when the plant is first basically growing, you just need to make sure that there's absolutely no chance of anything being eaten, because that kind of respiratory failure that you get from aconitum, you would also get from these as well. So again, just be really careful when you're handling these particular plants. I know a lot of people grow these every year, and a lot of people probably don't have an idea they are quite as toxic as they are. So we'll basically sow them on these particular green trays we've got here. Going to make it relatively simple, really. So we've got some delphiniums and we've got some larkspur. So I know people think that larkspur and delphinium are exactly the same plant. They almost are, but not quite. They're kind of distant cousins. Larkspurs are mostly annuals, and a lot of your delphiniums are generally perennial. So your larkspurs and your delphiniums do look quite similar when they're growing. But you're going to expect probably the entire life cycle of a larkspur is going to be pretty much up throughout the 1 year. Whereas your delphiniums, if you look after them, will probably come up year after year. Right, so we'll get some of these sowed. Right, so we'll start with the delphiniums. We'll just spread them finely. These seeds actually look a bit like look a little bit like aconitum seeds as well. Okay, nice and small little seeds. We'll put these other ones with them as well. Whatever comes up at this point will be good, because I say these are quite old seeds. These couple of packets here. So as they say, anything's a bonus. Right. And then the new ones I'll put on this side of the that's a weird one. I've never had seeds in one of these little Eppendorf tubes before, but there we go. Right, we'll scatter them again over the surface of this compost, which I have previously moistened, so hopefully they should grow quite nicely. Right. As with all your poison plants, make sure that you're not putting your hands anywhere near your mouth, because the most toxic parts of these plants happen when they're ingested. So we'll cover them up with some more compost. Give them a nice water. And then these will go upstairs on the Super 7. Okay, and then we'll do the Larkspur in the same way. Again, I'm just going to mix these up a little bit. Whatever comes up on these will be good. Looks like there's quite a few seeds in this one. Oh, there's loads. I'll put a few around on this. And then I'll mix them in with some of the other ones as well. And then the final lot here. Well, that's got a bit soggy, that particular packet. I'm going to put these into one of the other packets in a second. It looks like there's a lot here as well. A couple of seeds in the top there. And then, right. Okay, so that's Larkspur and Delphinium, both sown for this year. I might buy a couple of plants when we go to one of the garden shows, or if there's a particularly nice one I see in a garden centre, I might buy that as well, because they are quite pretty flowers, these. Nice tall spears like you get on the foxgloves. I think the cats are running around the house. Right, so 2 more sets of plants set for the Super 7. Right, so like I said, these will hopefully germinate quite quickly. We'll get them potted on and then we'll take them down the plot. Delphinium, interestingly, the name Delphinium seems to have been gained from the shape of the flower. Delphis or Delphin means dolphin in Greek, I think it is. So yeah, as with all of these flowers, they get their names from really, really strange things. Someone thinks something looks like something, and that's kind of where you get the name from. Greek mythology is quite heavy in this particular plant. There was a thought that a dragon was killed by 3 warriors, and wherever the dragon's blood hit the ground, these blue spears of flowers came up from the ground, which were very beautiful, but also extremely toxic and really hazardous. So if you're growing these yourself, please, I would say, take a few precautions when you're actually dealing with them. Same as you would anything that potentially might be toxic. The other thing with these plants as well is that they are extremely toxic to pretty much everything. So cats, dogs, you name it, they're toxic to those as well. And again, with the same issues. So respiratory failure, diarrhea, vomiting, all of those sort of things potentially can happen with these plants. So as I say, take extra care with these. Right, I'll be planting some more flowers, probably not toxic ones, over the next couple of days. And I'll get back to you with those as to what I'm planting for those. But yeah, 2 more toxic plants, and my collection is getting bigger. So all the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.